Item 14, specifically the Treaty 8 gathering, the 125th celebration. And just for everyone, I know that they have talked with our CAO, and I'll let him, he talked earlier for others, just if anybody wasn't in the room, just sort of where we were at, what they were suggesting or hinting at.
Yes, through the chair again, the individual I spoke to who's involved with this event provided this information for council that suggested that if council would support them to a lesser degree, that would be perfectly acceptable. So we threw out, I threw out $2,500 and suggested they also contact the county for a similar contribution and the like. But so it sort of bounced around, and they're not looking for the 10,000, but anything in the $2,000 to $5,000 range would be very appreciated.
Okay, so with that, perhaps we can get a motion on this one. Councilor Waco.
I will make the motion. This is coming out of our the community. Okay. I will make the motion that council provide the 125-year commemoration cultural celebration for the 8. $2,500 come out of the what is the property council sponsorship.
Okay, so we'll sort of just go around, get some feedback, and we'll go from there. Councilor Martins?
So is this supporting both the June 7th and 8th and the June 17th? Are they two separate events, same amount, or are we supporting both?
My interpretation through the chair again would be for the support events as outlined in this document, whether it's on the 7th or 8th or the 17th, the 21st. Their program budget, I don't think it articulates that very well, so it's all I can offer.
Can I throw something in there, because I believe that the person that you talked to is specifically raising funds for June 17th and 21st, and you probably know Sucker Creek.
That's likely correct.
Yeah, not the Peace River one.
So we're not 100% positive, but probably. All right.
I can amend that to that we support the 17th to 21st. Because I mean, this is supposed to be local, so like that's where we'd like our
We support the celebration on June 17th to the 21st.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we sort of go around to see who would be willing to contribute to determine if we would, how it would get split up. So who would be interested in contributing? I know I would be there, Councilor Stenhouse, not interested. Okay, so we take,
Councillor Martins, did she have her hand up?
Yeah, she did. She did. So we've got the $2,500 to be divided by the 6. All right, all in favor? Opposed?
She would.
Put her hand up.
In favor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
She's in favor of us spending money.
Yeah, she's in favor of us spending money. Moving on to the other letter, the notification of the LGFF funding. I'll make the motion that we receive this letter for information. So with that, is there any questions or comments on it?
I just offer one comment. This is, in terms of the operating allocation, it's significantly above the amount we budgeted for. So that will be good news and will be reflected in the variance report, which will be issued shortly.
Just to comment too, it's nice to see that they let us know how much we can expect next year.
Yeah. and that it is tied to our revenues, which is, right now, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. All right, all in favor? Carried. Moving, a notice of upcoming meetings, just to make sure we're clear with those. We've got a couple of meetings this week.
Tomorrow, so.
Tomorrow and then Friday is the Grove North.
Oh,
Is that in the evening or later in the day?
Yeah,
That one starts on Friday
Yeah.
at 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. till 2, I think was the plan, or till whenever it was done. And tomorrow's start time,
6 p.m.
6.
Yes.
I won't be at Friday when I have one of those job things that gets in the way.
Just take the day off, okay?
Oh, yeah. Sure. I'm taking most of next week off, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Where is the meeting?
Gorby County.
So just on that, and I know Councilor Janaka brought it up, what's the expectation of council there? The idea is that we'll be there to listen, we'll be sort of in the crowd, others will go up and make presentations, and we're there to listen and do that. Is that the plan? Okay. Councilor?
When I was talking with Bill about this, I told him that I would be willing to take the mic at the beginning to sort of state what our format is, what we're here to accomplish, little housekeeping, where's the bathrooms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then hopefully we have mics for those speaking and then a spare mic to be passed through the audience for an open whatever, and just trying to mitigate some of the anger that's there, saying that we're looking for positive, constructive ideas on how to work together to reduce some of the crime that's occurring. I don't know if that works with everybody, and just go from there.
So are you gonna go in early and do a mic check and
Well,
test it all out, and make sure you know?
I hope to get there before 6 o'clock and then do a check and make sure, see how it's set up and
But
then,
administration should have that. You guys are setting that all up and that will be up and working, I'm assuming.
yeah, and I'll go in early and just sort of get a feel and see how I'm gonna play this out, if that works for everybody.
Yeah.
That's sort of my vision that I had when I had suggested doing the policing for it. And then, of course, get the names of the presenters and give a little brief thing of what they're going to talk about, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, no, that sounds good. That works.
We're pulling the bleachers up for this thing. It's in the auditorium part?
Given that there's another meeting on Friday, we're setting it up, that's
Oh, it's tables, I see.
We have no idea how many are gonna show up. So that's always the,
Well, based on the traffic that it's being shared through Facebook on different sites and different individual sites, I think we'll probably get a reasonably good turnout. Hopefully we can accommodate everybody that is gonna show.
okay, what will we have seating for? Do you have any idea yet, Bill?
No, I haven't been able to make it over there yet. I did ask the staff to just set it up in tables all facing the stage yesterday. I just don't know if they've had a chance to get it done yet, or I haven't been there, so I'm gonna go over probably tomorrow morning and get everything going and then have it hopefully done before I leave at 4:30. But as of right now, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if it's started yet.
Okay, so we've got that tomorrow and the other one Friday, and then, next week, we've got the other FCM, so we got lots going on in the next 2 weeks.
Plus, and then you have the seniors barbecue on the 4th.
Oh, right, yes, and then the seniors barbecue on the 4th, yes,
You almost qualified.
almost. Councilor Martins.
Seeing as we're talking about meetings, we're all going to FCM. I know our next meeting is scheduled for June 10. Sorry, excuse me, June 11. Is there any appetite to move that date? Or are we all okay?
What, you breathing a fly or something?
It happened to me when I was.
You need candy?
Yeah,
Sure.
Pass that down to Josh, and maybe will help her.
It's just so close to FCM, so I'm just wondering.
yeah, no, we talked about that already.
And?
We did decide we decided to keep it. I can't remember now, but
I don't remember. Is that a committee of the whole? 'Cause I don't remember talking about that.
I don't remember talking about it
I
either.
know there was a discussion that it's right close to FCM, but we'd still go with it, and it'll be a shorter meeting, obviously.
You sure we had this discussion, or were you dreaming about council again?
Yeah, could have been.
It's not even about short, it's not even about length, it's just making it backward. Let's say someone stayed an extra day or, you know,
So, what day is it on?
Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah, but.
Well, and it's getting an agenda ready.
On the 11th. I was gonna say, can we not delay it to the following Tuesday? Or Wednesday or Tuesday or?
oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, sorry.
Not so much the 29th, but people want to-
As it stands now, there is one scheduled delegation, but there isn't, as of yet, a lot of other items on the agenda. So rather than, if you're gonna move it, I would suggest you just cancel it. Because there's really not gonna be a lot on the agenda as of yet.
And so the next one's the 25th.
Yeah, well, if we move it, then it's, back-to-back meetings, 1 week on between them, or we have a longer gap in there, so it's, like you say, to have 2 meetings back-to-back, 1 week after another, I don't know, that's lots. Or do we just cancel it? That's not.
I mean, I can understand where Sasha's coming from,
Yeah.
being at the time commitment or whatever, because you're there Sunday, come back Monday, then you're bang into a meeting on Tuesday. So if there's nothing pressing, I would just say cancel it. From my
We could
perspective.
have a short meeting on the Tuesday to keep it going, that's the other option, right? It might not be an overly long meeting, but there might be a few things coming up, and we've kept our rotation, so lots of options.
Who's the scheduled delegation?
FCS does.
Oh, the dates are mixed up. Yeah, but it might not be that easy.
Okay, is there any appetite
Is there
to
not from
changing it, canceling it, or should we just keep it? Because
They have to come
when
out.
FCM, we're usually, you get done early on Sunday, so you're back home Sunday evening, usually, right? Like that's what is normally done.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're,
If somebody's gonna stay, then obviously you miss the next meeting if you're not gonna be back.
yeah,
That happens, right? I've got family out here.
So do I.
Yes.
Sorry, what was your question?
well, I was just gonna say, I won't be attending, for obvious reasons, but I won't be attending, but, I mean, I can understand the time constraints, because you get back on Sunday or Monday, and then you're gathering your thoughts to be put together for a Tuesday. Again, if there's nothing pressing, I mean, we very rarely do cancel a council meeting. So, whatever works for you all.
Okay, well, anybody have a strong preference one way or another?
Keep it.
Just keep it, that's one, yeah. I'm okay with that too, but. Okay, well, I don't see any real strong objections to it.
want to cancel it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, how many
If there's nothing
want
pressing.
canceled, how many weren't?
Okay, how many want to see it canceled?
I don't mind canceling it, but as long as we make sure that our delegates are aware.
Or that they can move to the next one.
Yeah, I'm not totally against canceling it either, but I mean, we can keep it through the delegation, and I think most people will be able to attend. We can't always make all meeting, right? Like, and I get it, you want to stay there, you want to be there longer,
Just know the
You know,
delegation may not be able to.
but.
It sounds like there, I wouldn't, this isn't something I want a 4-3 split on, as far as canceling it or keeping it one way or the other. Just cancel the damn thing.
Can we see if we can reschedule the delegation? Because I just know if they're
The
doing.
delegation has indicated that they may open to attend either the 11th or the 20th.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's all I cancel. Then it doesn't matter.
Okay, so do we want to cancel it then? Is that what I'm hearing? Okay, so we need a motion. Somebody like to make that motion? Councilor Dunn.
I will make a motion to cancel the meeting on June 11th. Sorry,
And try notifications.
yeah, and notification be sent to the delegate FCSS.
All in favor? Carry it. Moving on then to our written and verbal reports. Councilor Banaka.
Before I do my report, I submitted my expense claim, and some of the expenses were denied because there was no resolution approved by council to attend. So the meetings that I'm requesting reimbursement for is to the meeting that I attended with Scott Sinclair's MLA office opening, the powwow, and the NAF presentation.
Oh, I'm sorry, which presentation?
The NAF, North Alberta Foundation,
We all attend, three of us attend.
Northern Alberta Foundation, or Northern something, yeah. So I'm requesting a motion, I'm requesting a decision from council regarding reimbursement for those 3 events that I attended. And I guess I need to make a motion stating that I am requesting approval for those 3 events that I attended to be approved. So I will be reimbursed for my expense pay.
Councilor Waco.
I seem to remember we talked about these around the table, the Sinclair's office opening and the powwow. I was under the impression that maybe it wasn't a formal resolution of council, but it was like, Dawn had indicated that she could go.
There was no formal resolution motion by council stating that any councillor available is authorized to attend.
Yeah, and just, I mean, according to our policy is that you, as all councillors, for the committees that you were assigned to, you get paid for those. Any other meetings, outside, you'd have to get motion of council if you want to get reimbursed.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and that's, yeah, so, And I can,
I mean, it was an oversight on my part in the sense that I never asked for that, but as James just stated, I kind of assumed that that would
Yeah.
be the case.
I would think, I thought that would.
well, it is very similar to the other one where, you know, Councillor Stenhouse went to beautification, it was talked about, but again, nothing was made formal there, right? It's not a formal decision, so it can't be done unless it's following those.
Okay, so there was no discussion on that, but I'd like to discuss that. There was a letter sent out from beautification. At the time, the mayor and the CAO were on holidays. I was acting deputy mayor, and they requested town presence because they would be mentioned in that meeting. And I claimed for that and I was denied as deputy mayor. And it was requested in an email. You're going to be mentioned, we have some stuff to sort out.
Through the chair, that this item is subject to an investigation.
Yeah.
It should be discussed in open session with council.
So
It's
we
the
can't. I
same
mean,
principle.
Well, no, it is the principle, and we could, but, I mean, that's the bottom line, is that's the principle there, right? So the question is, with regards to Councillor Danaka, will we approve those, or will we not approve those after the fact?
That is correct.
So, I can give you my thinking, like, I think some of them, like, going to the Avid open house and go and having a hot dog, to me, is not worth claiming for, because that's part of your $300 to attend those types of events if you choose to, right? There's no expectation to do it. There is, so that's where I feel, especially on that one, I don't think that that should be claimed, that's my view.
I'm not asking for reimbursement on that one, I'm just those three that I mentioned.
Oh, I thought you mentioned that one.
No.
Oh, sorry,
I
sorry.
chose to not mention that one because I'm not seeking.
Okay, sorry, okay. The Northern Alberta one, the foundation, the round, or powwow, and the Scott Sinclair Open.
Yes.
Okay,
Who attended the powwow to do, because we usually, isn't there, because I know Councilor Martin did it one year, there's the address from the town.
yeah, I did that.
Oh, I see, okay.
Other thoughts? Councilor Martins?
I'd be in support. I mean, there are events attended for the town by council, which is what we're mandated to do. Now, you're right, maybe the oversight of not asking beforehand, but I've attended the powwow in the past and I was reimbursed for it. So that one's a clear yes to me. That's me.
And the other thing is that I think we need to clarify, because things come up between council meetings that you can't get approval for. As an example, today I attended the J.B. Woods Celebration Tea. That came after the last council meeting that they were having this. So I will be putting in a claim next month for attending the tea. So we need to have some kind of a little clarity on what is allowed and what isn't, I guess is what I'm saying. Because like I said, things come up and somebody decides they're having an event and it's like, well, I think council should attend that or whatever. So that's what I'm kind of looking for too.
Go ahead, Councilor.
Yeah, I guess I'm just seeking clarification too, because we do get that 300, right? So is that to cover these? I'm just asking because I'm just learning with this, so is that 300 that we get to cover these such events, and then we have our committees for the remainder?
Well, that is the intent, yes. The intent is that way, that if you attend an event and you choose to go, because part of it is council, you tend to go to more of these kinds of events that you might not go to otherwise. But some of that is just, that's what that 300 is supposed to cover, some of those, you know, those extras where you're meeting with people, talking with people, if you're going to, you know, an event like that, that's there. If it's something else, you know, the motion's clear that it should be a motion of council, or it should be one of your committees. So, I mean, it's very clear on what you can get paid for. And if something comes up in between, yeah, you may not get paid for it, right, if you attend it. That's the chance that you take. And if you want to get paid for it, because I know lots of people attend things and don't expect to get paid. Councillor Dunn?
Just, my thinking is in terms of what Don is proposing, because you are the official representative of the powwow, I would not say the powwow. However, I appreciate the fact that she went to the opening for our MLA, and I think she should be reimbursed for that because she was the only one there representing us. What's the other one?
The NAF presentation.
And there were 3 of you there, right? So yeah, I think when there's no representation and an individual is going and, you know, to represent the community, but again, like we do need to make that ahead of time so that we're all aware. Just my thought.
If I could, through the chair, just to clarify what the existing policy is. You know, you get reimbursed for your honorariums for council meetings. Now, my interpretation and other interpretations of council meetings, that would include public meetings. So for instance, the meetings that are scheduled for tomorrow and Friday, they're sponsored by the town. That's an extension of your council duties. I would not suggest that those should be expensive. Right? So on the ones that, so the policy basically says, if you attend anything that you've been appointed by this council to attend, you get reimbursed. Otherwise, you have to ask before you attend the event. There's issues of timing. You know, attendance can be done through, you know, approval can be done through email if it's a council priority. But again, like what does council want to reimburse? Budget-wise, there's not an issue. There's enough money in the budget to do this stuff. Council could also direct me to amend the policy to allow for one special event per month that you as a council member that want to do something in the community have carte blanche to submit one a month without council approval, but anything above it needs council approval. But, you know, all I'm saying is I followed the policy and I will continue to follow the policy to the word of the policy because of issues that have come up in the past. So unless council wishes to amend the policy, you know, the policy is quite succinct and clear.
Okay, so specifically on those meetings for Councillor Danaka, we heard from 2. Councillor Stenhouse, what's your thoughts on this?
No, I'm not in support of refunding.
Okay, Councillor Wakel?
Well, for sure, the Sinclair meeting, because I honestly thought that we sort of bandied that around the table and said, oh yeah, I can go. I guess, again, just, God. We gotta follow the policy as it's written. policy for now and try and verify this like this. This doesn't.
So what does that mean?
That means God, I'm sorry, Donna, I gotta say no, 'cause we gotta follow the policy.
Well, policy will allow for approval after the fact.
Does it? Where does it say that in there?
The council has approved specifically expense claims outside of the policy since I've been here. So other councilors have bought requests because if they didn't meet the 30-day deadline or whatever. So yes, there's been exceptions to the policy.
And if council's approving it now, then it would be, I see it, yeah. Because there was an understanding, so, and that's my take on it.
The policy is a policy, that doesn't mean council can override it
No.
and has overwritten lots of policies in terms of various issues.
I would be in support of like for the Sinclair one, but the other ones are kind of like those, community event things. So,
Councilor Shishin?
Yeah, same for me, for the Sinclair, definitely. I think it was excellent, we had representation and Don was, gave her time to do that.
Okay, and myself, I would agree with that too, it's just sort of the Sinclair, I think is good, I don't know about the Northern Alberta one, I'm not sure if that was the Northwestern Alberta, yeah, wasn't sure about that one, I know we read and they were talking about the grants that they would have available. So, yeah, I would say for the one and not the others, I would be good with too. You can, yeah.
Okay, so the NAF one. It was hosted here in High Prairie. How lame would that be that no one from the town of High Prairie show up when you're having people coming from other towns? We were the host. I know it, I'm just making a point here. I'm still sticking with my decision, but I'm just making a point. So we really need to look into this stuff. You know, like they are coming from everywhere else in High Prairie, nobody from High Prairie shows up. I don't know.
Well, that's a good point, like I said, I wasn't able to make it
Yeah.
and do it, so.
But we
I
need to
could-
think
I
about this stuff.
Yeah, no, when you bring that up, I could be swayed on that one, because I really don't know much about it, so.
Again, I'm just speaking from the administrator's point of view. There is nothing preventing any member of council for asking council's concurrence to attend the event. And that's the way the basic policy is written as it is.
And we should be, I think, moving forward, we can be really clear on, I'm interested in going, can I get permission, or, when those things come up on our agenda, just so that there is no confusion.
Or after the fact, just like this, because sometimes it happens after the fact.
That's right, yeah.
Because I didn't even find out about NAF until after our council meeting, so sometimes it happens after the fact.
Okay, so we have a motion to receive all three. Maybe can we make a motion on each one, and then we'll do it that way, Donna, just because I.
Sure, individually is fine.
Okay, so we'll start with a vote on the Scott Sinclair one. Yeah, the Scott Sinclair grand opening office, all in favor of paying for that?
and mileage.
And mileage, yeah, that's, okay, opposed? Okay, it is carried. So for attending the NAF meeting, on that one,
I'd like to make an amendment
oh, sorry,
for all three that attend the NAP meeting that we
okay. So we've got that, a motion to approve anybody that attended the NAF meeting. All right, all in favor? Opposed? All right, and the last one is attending the powwow. All in favor? Opposed?
So my question is this, I have a question.
Sorry.
So you were there as the mayor doing your speech. Did you stay for any part of the powwow, or did you leave after your speech?
I stayed for half an hour and then left. Yeah.
Okay. I stayed for, what, I think I put in for an hour and a half. So, I mean, it's a town-sponsored event. I think town should be represented there. That's why I put down for the powwow.
Okay, I understand and I'm pretty sure I didn't even claim for the powwow to go there, and I was there a little ahead of time, a little after, and again, I was just, in my viewpoint, it's more of a little bit of politicking, I guess, to get in there and see it, so as opposed to something that we need to be at, but that's me. So let's just, after we've had the feedback from Donna, we'll do a revote. All in favor of paying for the powwow? Opposed? Okay, so I got 2 of the 3 on Donna's there, we can adjust that.
Thank you.
Okay, on to the report.
On to the report. Okay. So, let me just grab my calendar here and see the last time I did something. Oh, okay, so, had the, museum meeting. As Judy pointed out, they have started working on the sidewalk. They've got the one, on the west side and then on the south side done. And I believe they're starting to work on the area where the tables and benches are, to make the pad so that the seniors can debark the bus and have a proper sidewalk to get into the museum with their walkers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. As I mentioned, I attended the Dr. Woods, John Barrett Thornton Wood celebratory tea. It was nice to see, there was members of his family that were there, and it was hosted by the museum and Twice as Nice. I guess the main highlight for me is that Dr. Wood ended up coming up here to the north because he was part of the TB clinic that they had in 1940 whatever, and stuff, and in 1973, February 19th, 1973, when they did the new expansion of the hospital and connected the nursing home, they changed the name to the J.B. Woods Home, and prior to that it was called the Gamblin Home, which was run by the Sisters of Providence. Good turnout, some interesting little facts. They had some people who were young kids, like Ann Shantz, who's now, 90, remembers living on the farm, and Dr. Woods coming to the farm because her sister had scarlet fever and ended up giving them shots and whatever, and most people were poor at the time, so a lot of times his payment for his services was a pie, a loaf of bread, a chicken, some vegetables, some potatoes. Tied into that, Dan Vandenhuven dropped off some stuff after Dr. Wood's son Arthur died earlier last year. Dan Vandermeulen brought some of the stuff that Dr. Wood's son Arthur had, which is really cool. He brought his original doctor's bag, his original pharmaceutical drug dispensing bag, his university notebooks, medical textbooks, pictures, and Darlene's gonna compile all that and make a display regarding Dr. Wood's life in town. The other thing is the museum is open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And being that Darlene is the only person there, they've implemented a safety protocol that the museum doors will be locked. And if you want to get into the museum, please phone this number, because she's had dealings with, unfortunately, some of the homeless people who have been coming in and creating scenes where she's actually had to call the RCMP to come and remove them. And the other pressing one with the museum is that the chair that was elected in April resigned her position, and as of now, Helen Henderson is the chair of the museum board. Other than that, I move my report for information.
Oh, are you ready to vote, or you have a question or comment? That's what I'm wondering, if you're putting your hand up for question or
No, I
comment.
have a couple questions, if I may.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
The sidewalks that they're doing, it's just the ones that are on the grass, right? Like not the town ones that are on the roads?
Just the ones that, yes, just
Okay.
the ones that are leading to the museum from the town sidewalks.
Okay, good. And by yourself, was the museum able to secure a summer student grant, or do they do something? Yeah.
To my knowledge, no.
Such a shame, but it was such a good program for like
It was.
a billion years.
Yeah, no, they weren't able to secure a summer program.
Was it because they didn't get the grant, or they didn't have the applicants?
Or they didn't apply.
That's possible too.
To be honest, I can't answer that question. I would have to ask Darlene and get back to you if they applied or were denied.
Right, just an email is fine if you.
Yeah, because it was really not discussed.
Okay.
Okay,
Councilor Martins?
Is Darlene aware of, and will she be attending tomorrow's session? And I ask only because I think she'd have some good input as a vendor, or not a vendor, but not an organization. Do you know if she's aware or if she's attending?
I believe she's aware, but I can check with her saying, you had issues.
Yeah, because those will make her,
Yes.
commentary.
Councilor Senos?
Back to the safety, would they consider putting in like a doorbell or something instead of, because not everyone
For
carries.
right now, they are implementing this, and Darlene is looking into some type of a doorbell system that will alert her that somebody wants to come in. But for now, they've implemented just locking the door until she can secure something, as you're saying, a doorbell system.
Okay, no other questions? She moved her report for information. All in favor? Carried. Councilor Dunn?
Attended the CRC meeting last night, and really aware of all the different programs that they run and what they're doing for children and families in the community and region. We also so the hub is here, but they also serve Slave Lake as well. And, so a lot of good things happening there. They have lost an individual that was doing really well in her programming and stuff, but, their family's moving, so that's part of what happens. Also want to make you aware that the CEO, Mel Shikawi, has been identified. I should have brought the actual form in, but from an agency for his work within the community and identified because of the fact that he has improved communication and what all did it say? But they really appreciated how he connected their part of the program and the dollars they sent, and the fact that the center is running smoothly. So they sent an acknowledgement in that way. So I think it'll make it to the paper somehow. And I move my report. And,
Okay. Questions, comments? Just one of the things, whatever happened with the roof there? I know there was a real,
it's still an issue. And, but we withdrew, like, because we were, I shouldn't say the center was losing money because of legal, they were trying to get the initial service provider to come and redo things, and went to court, and so they dropped all that.
And they're working on how to fix it.
So now we're in a place that we're looking, and there's temporary stuff that's been put in place to ensure that the leaking is not gonna be an issue, so.
All right, so we have a motion received for information, all in favor? It's carried. Councilor Martins.
Okay, so I didn't have any meetings between last period and this, but I, kind of, Donna brought into my mind, I should let council know that I have not submitted my May report yet, so it'll be done today. That's number one. Number two, in March 13th, 14th, 15th, I attended the Municipal Leaders Caucus, and I forgot about mileage. So, again, your thing triggered me, so I'm letting you guys know, because, this is the group that will know that I haven't done it yet. So I don't know what I need, if I need approval from you guys, but those are linked.
You were approved to go to that though, right?
Yes, I was. I just haven't submitted it. That's my thing.
And again, councilors, I remind you, the policy says you must submit within a certain time period. I know I'm seem like a broken record tonight, but I have constantly been criticized for not following policy. So either you amend the policy that suits you, or allow administration to have more flexibility in the interpretation of policies.
Go ahead, Councilor.
So this is where the confusion comes in, because I received an email from payroll and they want it by, let's say, the 26th. But I don't submit mine until the 30th, 31st. So technically it's not late.
No,
If we
it's
have
not.
30 days, even though payroll has asked for it earlier, technically it's not late.
That is not a problem with that one at all. Like, you can hand that in and you're given, there's flexibility there. So the timesheet problem is not an issue, but it's more the mileage issue. And I mean, the town has a policy, and it's a town policy, not even just a council policy, on how late you can claim your expenses. That's what you.
Okay, so on the 30th or the 31st, we are still not late, even though it's been requested earlier, correct?
It'll just end up on the next,
Yeah.
I don't care when it's paid, that's not my issue, it's just it was due yesterday, I wasn't, okay, it was gone.
Yeah,
So that's not,
I haven't
people,
handed mine in either.
people hand their timesheets in late often, that's not an issue. Yeah. Well, it is if it gets too late, right, like.
Yeah.
Okay, you moved your report for.
I didn't have.
Oh, okay, no report.
I just asking for everybody's permission, but
No,
waiting permission.
because you.
No, because it,
Right, that was approved, but it hasn't been,
it's gonna be late though, is the thing.
that's.
Because it was March, I said.
Exactly, it's late.
So what you're asking for, you're making a motion to get your mileage paid for attending the leadership conference, even though you're late.
That's correct.
Okay, so everybody understand the motion? Any questions, comments on it? All in favor? Okay, carried. Did you catch that? Yeah, you got it, okay. To my report, I did deliver flowers to the grand opening at Avid, and also went to Great Bear, went there, so they've got some flowers, attended a Hard River Housing meeting. I think the big news coming out of that was the notice that the CAO there is retiring in May, at the end of May of 2025. Other things was, yeah,
He's not much,
sorry,
he's not much.
oh, okay.
Tell him I said.
And we also, at that meeting, there was an approval of some increases to the rents at the lodge, and call it at the lodge and the enhanced lodge too. So that's those meetings, and speaking of getting some approvals for things, I got an email on Friday asking if I would attend the St. Andrews graduation on behalf of the town. And so I'm just asking, I would like to make a motion to ask for permission to attend the St. Andrews grad on behalf of the town. So I'll start with that motion and then I'll end with that. I'll make a motion to receive my report for information to start, and if there's any questions on the report.
Receive your information for report.
Yeah, that one.
Go ahead, Paul.
So, regarding the businesses, are we caught up now?
I don't know that for sure. I'm gonna throw it open to administration. Are we caught up?
Cause I'm not sure what policy states, the new businesses, but in my mind, when I had sent out that email a month or so ago saying, where are we with flowers? To me, that would include like the reopening of the pincushion. I mean, yes, she was closed, but it's a reopening of that same business, but it's still a reopening. I don't know if we got flowers to Arlen's new confectionery store.
No, I can answer both of those questions. No, we haven't been to either of those. Do they
Okay.
both fit into our policy? You could interpret that, I guess.
Well, I mean, Arlen's was a new business. I mean, he opened a convenience store. I mean, the pincushion, like, I think if somebody's gonna open a business, whether it's been shuttered or not, I mean, even for me, the vet clinic, like, I mean, the potential of it being closed, then this woman stepped up and said, no, well, I'll purchase it. Like, I mean, I think that needs to be acknowledged in some way. Like, here's some flowers, thanks for keeping the vet clinic open.
I
And
think especially
again,
if it's new owners like that, I think that counts.
and that's a new business, it is a.
Yeah,
so, and I had a list that I had prepared, but I've lost it. So, again, I don't know if this needs to be something that is reworked in the policy, new ownership, reopening of stores, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I just wanna make sure that we capture those things in the town where things are coming in and not just, you know, cause it's like a new business, but a business that is kept open and reopened should be acknowledged. in my
Reinvested in
opinion.
the community.
No, that's a really good point, and I know we haven't delivered to some of the ones that you've talked about, for sure, yeah. Councillor Yushishin.
Could we, or do we, or could we, keep track of that through, they need a business license, right? So if they open up a new business, we would,
That's
we
correct.
would know
So
about it?
staff have been advised to inform myself of any new business that has drawn a new business license. The gray areas are the ones that have been mentioned. So it's really what way does council want it to go?
Well, yeah, well, some of them would be a new business for sure, like, and you're using the example of the confectionery at Arlen's place there, is that would have had to get a separate business license, would they not? I mean, he's got a trucking company there, and that's continued to be there, but they've opened up a new, I don't know if it's a new business or it's a new,
It's an addition.
Extension of his
it's
business.
an addition to the business, right? Like it gets a little, and is there a new business permit or is it the same business permit? That's sort of the issues, right?
It would be the same business permit for sure.
Yeah.
So there probably was no new business license issue.
Okay.
Are you done, Donna?
Yes.
Okay. So I have another question, but I just want to follow up on this flower policy. We have a policy, and then when there is an exception, we bring it to council. If you recall, when Esso did a whole new overload, they weren't a new, not Esso, Shell. They weren't a new business, but they did a whole new overload, so we sent them flowers. So we usually do the exceptions. If we notice something that somebody's made a big improvement, then we usually vote on that. That's how we've been following that policy.
It's true, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
thanks.
I have a question for Hard River Housing. How's their construction in Blair going? Because that is still part of the whole Hard River Housing. They're building the same building as they did here also, correct?
Yes, and it's going along fairly smoothly, especially when you compare it to how it went in Hyper. Different builder, different architect, it's going along smoothly. Walls are up, they're progressing fairly well.
And was Fox Creek also building one?
They're
Or
done.
they're done? That was,
Fox Creek is done and open.
that was it.
Oh, okay, yeah. And the Hard River Housing is also starting to look at what they're gonna do in Valley View. But that's a year or two away before they would even start that, because they're trying to get the land for the school so that they could expand onto the school land. But the school's still there, and they're building another school, and what's gonna happen with the old land. So there's lots of variables there, and
So the Falair one is on schedule
yes.
and full force, okay.
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
Okay, I move my report for information, all in favor? I'm also gonna make a motion to request approval to attend the St. Andrews grad. Any questions first? No?
Just let us
Just
know.
vote, all in favor? Carried. Councillor Stenhouse,
I have no report.
Councillor Waco,
I attended the Peace Library System on the weekend. Their audits, went through the audited statements there. They just gotta clean a few things up in there, and it's all good. They just have some housekeeping in there. Big thing that I took away from that is the, like, circulation's huge with interlibrary loans and having ebooks and everything. And the websites that everybody accesses, track, I think is what it is, 9 million hits towns of what, 3.5, 4 million people? 9 million hits. Libraries are alive and well, and they're not just a box with books. So, so yeah, that's, it's going quite well. Building maintenance is keeping up. The figure the building itself there is gonna last, you know, probably another 30 years, give or take, so they're happy with that. We keep up the maintenance if we know it's gonna last indefinitely. So everything is going swimmingly. What else? You know, something else to bring up. We talked about this, we saw them last year at the Alberta Municipalities Conference, is the prostate cancer people. And we were gonna try and get them for the gun show, and I guess it didn't work out, or we're trying to work out some logistics, because they don't necessarily come up here. And, because while I was in Grand Prairie, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he, prostate cancer, and he's done, right? He's got a few years left, but you don't get to ring the bell, right? You just do. So, I mean, it bothers me because I'm older than he is, and that pisses me off. So I would really like us to attempt again to get the man band, isn't that what they called it? You know what I'm talking about, eh? Yeah. I wanna get it, and like, I was some guy, don't wanna put a finger up my bum, they don't have to do that anymore, there's different ways they can do it. Blood tests, there's poop smears, and yeah, you know what, it's gross, don't care. You know, my friend is gonna be gone, and that bothers me. So I really wanna make an effort to get that here, I don't know if we have enough time to get it here for the rodeo. You know, and if you're a guy and you're past 40, if you're past 50 for sure, get that exam done and do it regularly every year. And if you're the ladies that are here, if you've got men in your life, get them to get that goddamn test done, because it's preventable. So,
Okay,
I moved my report.
Councillor Dinac.
When you had brought this up before, did you not have information, because there was a cost to bring it up? It's not like they came up for free.
I think part of it was because Brian, you were there when we were talking to them, I think, because they were still working that out on their end, so it's just not, I don't know what happened with the communication. Maybe we'll see them again the next week at the trade show, I think. But yeah, it's needed.
And I guess the thing is, if, we'd need more information before we could move to get it here, so if you could provide a little bit more.
Yeah.
Back, and, we could certainly look
I'll
into it.
take some.
Any other questions for Councillor Wakel? All in favor? Councillor Yoshisha?
I have no report.
All right, so, moving on to our confidential items, so we'll take the time, take a break.